So the Chicago Bulls lose to the Philadelphia 76ers 98-103. And guys, when I was watching this game, I was like, why does the Chicago Bulls always do this to themselves? Like, I get it. You guys can rally in the fourth and come back, but why do we put ourselves in such big deficits? Why was the play so lackadaisical? The first, second quarter, there was no energy. They were being lethargic. The 76ers just simply played like harder. There was a more sense of urgency from the 76ers than from the Chicago Bulls. And I get it. The team seems to wake up in the third, fourth quarter. They don't give up. Great. But why put yourself in a hole so early in the game? Why make it so hard for you to win in the game? Like what? Like, again, they came back from the Celtics. Cool. They came back when they played the Utah Jazz. Cool. But you don't want to make it hard for yourself. Why do you want to fight with your back against the wall? You should be able to sustain a lead and keep that lead. Not because, again, it's ultimately always going to come down to running out of time. With the New York Knicks, they could have won that game. They ran out of time. With the 76ers, they probably would have won this game too, but they ran out of time. So to make these pushes and all this other things, you have to damn near play perfect just to win the game at the end of the game. Whereas if they had just played with that same energy in the beginning of the game, they would have won this game. But again, growing pains. They face the 76ers again on Saturday, so hopefully they learn a lesson or two from this game. But again, winnable game, they just lost it. Now, let's get into Lonzo's stats. Lonzo played 33 minutes, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 13 points. And if I was to give Lonzo a grade for this game, I would give Lonzo a C. Not a C minus, not a C plus, just a C. Why are you giving Lonzo a C? I'm giving Lonzo a C because he didn't go hard enough for me. Lonzo barely attacked the rims and he shot 0 free throws. Listen, you mean to tell me in 4 quarters Lonzo can't get to the free throw line once? Not once? Like, that's the keys to victory. Like, Lonzo has to figure out ways to attack the rim aggressively and get to the free throw line. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but that's what Lonzo needs to start doing. Another thing too, right? I'm noticing he's getting waved, not necessarily waved off, but his teammates aren't looking for him. Zach LaVine damn near blew the game off. If I was to give the reason why we lost this game, I'm putting it on Zach LaVine and I'm putting it on Vucevic. Vucevic, his scoring, his offense was non-existent in this game. And I'm going to give him a pass because we all have bad games. He wasn't scoring, but he had 9 assists, right? He dished Lonzo a few dimes, so again, he had an off scoring night, right? But Zach LaVine, he's still stuck in the 2020 Bulls era where he had to play hero ball and do this and do that. Like, Zach, if you're being double teamed, why are you forcing shots? Like, Zach LaVine had 2 or 3 bad turnovers in the fourth quarter that literally cost us the game, killed the momentum because he was trying to do too much. Literally, he was being double teamed and Lonzo and a few other teammates were wide open and he's trying to force up shots. And it's like, bro, this isn't the 2020 Bulls where that's what you had to do. You have capable teammates. And Lonzo, he came in clutch. He had a clutch 3 that narrowed the game to 4 points from 7 points. So again, let Lonzo shoot that ball. Like he's on this team for the reason to shoot. So let him shoot. Another thing too, a lot of Lonzo fans aren't going to like this, but I keep seeing, why are they making Lonzo into a 3-and-D guy? And he was a 3. Like, guys, you have to realize something. That's part of Lonzo's skill repertoire. He is a 3-and-D guy. Like, since LeBron came to the Lakers, he's molded his game into that 3-and-D role. Now, he's not a role player, but that is part of his skill set. From as soon as he got into the league, he could play defense. And now he's learned to shoot the 3. So, yeah, he is a 3-and-D guy. Like, he's not a role player, but that's part of his skill set, to play hella defense and to shoot 3s, spot up 3s exactly. Now, people might say, role player. Isn't that what Klay Thompson does? Is Klay Thompson known for like playmaking? Is Klay Thompson known for anything else but being one of the top perimeter defensive players in the league and his standstill spot up 3s? Klay Thompson does not dribble the ball. He shoots 3s and they go in. So if Lonzo has kind of the same archetype as a player where, again, throw me the ball off the wing, I can make the 3, and I can play hella defense, that does not make him a role player the same way it does not make Klay Thompson a role player. So again, the Lonzo fans have to realize that, hey, listen, this is Lonzo's skill set as a player, and there's nothing wrong with it. Again, I give Lonzo a C for this game because he was somewhat being aggressive, right? Some of the shots were not falling in, and he made some crucial plays down the stretch of the game. Like, I'm going to give the L to this team to Zach LaVine trying to play hero ball. And it's like, bro, you have a team now. You don't need to do that. Again, in the Bulls preseason, we've seen ball movement. Regular season is just iso ball. What happened to all that ball movement? What happened to moving the ball? What happened to playing fast? People aren't leaking out, I've noticed. When the opposing team shoots a shot, people aren't leaking out and running out as soon as they shoot the ball. So these transition points, these swinging of the ball, you're not really seeing that. The Bulls used to play fast, and now they're 23rd in the team in terms of pace in the league. So they're not running. So playing fast and all, they're now turning into more so a half-court team. And again, they've strung up some wins, but they need to do way more than what they're currently doing, because it's not enough. It's simply not enough. You see, the thing is, they're losing the rebounding battle most nights. It's like they're undersized, and we knew this going into the season, but they can't really run when you're not grabbing the rebounds to run. So far, they're forcing it through like their defense, getting steals, deflections, things like that, putting pressure on the opponent's offense. But again, they're not leaking out, and they can't run fast when they're not leaking out. And some of it's a personnel issue. We're weak in a couple of points in terms of the center spot, power forward spot. But again, so far they've been improvising and just out hustling their teammates. But again, there's plenty of places where this team can improve on. Another thing too, right? We weren't gonna go with a perfect record throughout the whole season. Like, some of these Bulls fans or fake Bulls fans is like, I think the early successes kind of got them drunk, where it's like, yo, you're gonna lose games. Losing games is normal, right? It's not like the end of the world. This team is playing hard, and again, we're gonna lose games. So far, the Bulls have not been blown out by any team. The 2 losses that they've had, they lost by 1 point to the Knicks, and they lost by 3-4 points by the Philadelphia 76ers. Again, this team has always managed to hold their head and hang in the game. So every loss is a learning experience, right? Hopefully, Zach LaVine, he'll learn to defer and trust his teammates more, right? Again, Zach, you don't need to if you're being double teamed, you don't need to force up a bad shot when there's greater shot. You need to trust your teammates, right? So he needs to look at the film, right? They play again on Saturday, so they're definitely going to look at film. And in the fourth quarter, the coach just shows Zach LaVine, hey, look, Lonzo was wide open right there. Demar Derozan was open right there. Vooch was open right there. Why did you force a shot with 2-3 defenders on you when your teammates were wide open? Again, we see when Lonzo was wide open in the corner towards the end of the fourth, he made the shot. So again, right, Vooch passed him the ball, Lonzo made the shot. So you got to learn to trust your teammates and put the ball in their hands, empower your teammates. Again, there was a couple of shots I thought Lonzo should have gotten, and he could have scored more, right? And I'm not too worried about Vooch. Vooch, he just had a bad game. He hasn't been playing to his all-star self this season, but he had nine assists, right? He had a bad game. You can have a bad game, but other teammates have to pick it up. And if they would have trusted Lonzo with the ball a bit more, I'm sure he would have scored more. But Lonzo also needs to get to the free throw line and score. That's why I'm giving Lonzo a C for this game, because he could have done better. He had 13 points, cool, but I already said Lonzo needs to give you at least 15. Lonzo can give you at least 15 points a game and 7-8 assists, cool. Now, the way the offense is going in, Lonzo's passing the ball to his teammates. They're just not making shots, especially Vucevic, but I'm sure he'll get it together as the time goes along. But guys, do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Let me know in the comments down below. The Bulls face the 76ers again, so hopefully we can split the 2 games, right? Lose 1, win 1, and going into the stretch, which is a very hard stretch of playoff teams, we can snag the W. But again, guys, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like. It's your boy For All to Envy, aka Fate. I'm out.